Um, well, oh man, this is gonna be weird to talk about, but well, Etchie is
Welcome back to the Bigspin podcast. I am FB.Christopher, aka Facebook Christopher, if you ask Dave England or Jake PFB. And today I'm here with a dude whose fingerboard brand almost feels more like a secret society at times. The drops are rare, the posts are minimal, and while the brand seemingly doesn't chase the spotlight, the boards are still in super high demand. The boards are almost legendary to some fingerboarders. I am here with Josh, the homie from Etchie. Am I saying that right?
correct. Yeah.
Perfect. Before we get started, I got to know so I'm not saying it wrong the whole time. How do you say the name?
Yeah. Etchie.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
God damn, see, Jake? Come on now. Perfect. Give me the background on the name, right? And I ask up front because when I was doing the info on the pod, like I was like searching around and stuff like that, I got some pretty weird search results.
Yeah.
So I got to know, give me the lore on the name.
Well, first of all, thank you. I appreciate all the kind words that you just said in that intro. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
I don't feel deserving of it, but I appreciate it. Well, oh man, this is gonna be weird to talk about, but well, Etchie is it's like a slang term for like naughty or sexy or stuff like that. It's like an umbrella term for things of that general area, mainly dealing with anime and like manga. I mean, those who know, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is. It's it's just a little thing. I was like, it just clicked. It just clicked for me. So, it's something I was like, I've been into for a while, and I'm not like super proud of it or anything, but it was funny to use that as a brand.
It works.
And I know hookup. A lot of people know hookups too. So,
Oh yeah. Shout out hookups.
yeah.
There you go.
So I was like, I kind of want to do the same thing. But yeah, it just came from at least the way it's spelled. I used to have like a hidden folder in my phone.
Yeah.
Of like content like that. And so bad, dude. But yeah,
Hey. You know what I mean? We're all guilty of it. You should see the shit Jake hides in his phone. You know what I mean? We have a code word that if something ever happens to him, I just got to delete his search history. No questions asked.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, it was just a folder in my phone to not make it look so obvious of what was in it, even though, if you knew, you knew, but if you don't, then it just looks like, what the heck is that,
Is that where the spelling comes from too? Because I can't tell you how many times I'm like, how the fuck? Like I'm typing it in, it's not coming up, and I'm like, oh, it's a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the deal with the spelling?
Well,
Just so it wasn't super obvious?
Yeah, pretty much. And like, I didn't come up with that. Like, I've seen it spelled that way just on like different Instagram accounts or whatever.
Okay.
So, not only Instagram, I've seen it on YouTube, I've seen it on Google, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had that as the name of the folder in my phone, and
there you go.
It's just weird.
All right,
that, but that's where that came from. That's where that came from.
Put a pin in it. Done talking about the damn name. All right, here we go. Where are you from, and what was it like growing up there?
Born and raised, still living in San Diego, just all around, mostly south, because I know right now we're in North County. But yeah, just been everywhere down south. Still there, Spring Valley specifically.
Hell yeah. Okay. I know you mentioned earlier when you walked in, you haven't done much traveling.
No.
Damn, we gotta reach out to Fingerboard Con.
Bad, I know.
Rendezvous.
I know. We've been wanting to. My wonderful lady, we've been trying to figure something out to go to the Philippines to visit like her family over there.
Dude,
yeah,
that would be sick. We were talking to Christian about doing a Collier trip out there. My kids are dying to travel.
Yeah,
so I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Talk to me about your favorite hobbies growing up when you were a kid. Were you always kind of like hands-on, a creative type? I mean, because obviously now with making boards and stuff like that, obviously it takes some kind of skill. But when you were a kid, was that kind of your thing, making stuff, or what were you like as a kid?
Not really. On it now that you mentioned creativity, I'm not like I'm the furthest from the creative type, honestly. Like
you can't tell based on your boards.
No, I'm saying like I'm the type to like with anything, tell me what to do and I'll do it. Like if there's a certain way to do something, I'll try and do it the best I can of that method. Same goes for boards. But yeah, like when it comes to creativity, it's like at an all-time low. And as far as other hobbies go, growing up, it was the first thing that came up was skating, obviously.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing really, nothing other than that. It was just like as a kid, I was just into skating, and then
Hell yeah.
yeah, that was pretty much it for the most part.
Hell
Honestly,
yeah. Some action sports. What first drew you to skateboarding? Like, what was it? Seeing someone out in public skateboard? Did you have siblings or relatives that skateboarded? Or
It was the homies from church. Grow up and still good friends with them, obviously.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but it was those guys because there were, like back then, the age difference is a lot more. I don't know what the term for it is, but anyway, the kids that were a few years older, they were their own thing, and then they treated us younger ones differently. But later on, we ended up all becoming close friends. But it was because of them that like me, myself, and my brother, we got into skating.
Hell yeah. Do you remember your first skateboard? Like your first, pro skateboard? Because obviously we all go through like the fucking Walmart ones and shit like that. But talk to me about your first pro skateboard.
Yeah,
what was that like?
Okay. So yeah, I had those skateboards from swap meet. Dude, it was so bad. But my first pro skateboard was a bird. It was a birdhouse setup. I forgot what
shout out birdhouse.
I know. I forgot what the name of the graphic was, but it had a blue background, and it had a hawk with like a really short. Oh, sorry, real short beak. I forgot what it was though. But yeah, that was my first setup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trucks and wheels?
Yeah, I don't remember. That I don't remember, honestly. I think, I don't know if it like came with it or if, because I didn't really know, like there was no one to like, because again, the older kids were the older kids, so I didn't really feel comfortable talking to them about it or asking them anything. But yeah, I think I just like asked the dude who was working at the shop. I don't even remember what shop it was. I think I asked him to like guide me on what I should get. And yeah.
Did you stumble on a birdhouse board, or did you have like a favorite skater that skated for birdhouse, or was that your favorite brand, or how'd you land on the birdhouse deck?
I think it was just like the whole like, because it started off with playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1.
Yeah. Glad you said that.
Yeah, in 99, of course.
Yeah. Who's your go-to player?
For that game, I think it might have been Jeff Rowley.
Hell yeah,
I think, because I love the dark side, dude.
Yeah. God damn.
Yeah,
we're right here. We're connected on that one. Holy shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy. As far as for like, not to jump too far ahead, but when it comes to aesthetic, right? The overall aesthetic of Etchie, like, is there a skateboard brand that kind of inspired the aesthetic that you're going for?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that, because aside from the obvious anime girl, whatever, like, it was because of the Tony Hawk games that I fell in love with just big logo boards. Like,
hell yeah.
So that was my thing. I was like, when I was making boards, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do the whole anime thing, but I also just want a ton of variations of big logos, which is there's no particular aesthetic to that. It's just whatever I think looks nice and just like plastered on the board, so it's like obvious. Like if you're doing a flip trick, what it is. And I always love that about like the boards in the Tony Hawk games. Like Flip had one, Firm, like all those.
Dude,
yeah.
The Firm's crazy. You said that right now. I totally forgot about the Firm.
Yeah, I always love seeing the big bold logos. So.
Hell yeah. When it comes to your fingerboarding, or even your handboarding, right? Because from what I've heard, you're a beast on a handboard.
I was a handboarder first. Yeah,
handboarder first. God damn.
First.
Is that like directly tied into like skateboarding came first, fell in love with skateboarding, and then you just picked up handboarding? Or how does someone pick up handboarding before fingerboarding?
Well, I mean, we all grew up with tech decks. So like I had the fingerboards, but when it came to like actually learning the skill, my homie had a handboard, another homie from church named Nigel.
Yeah. He
had a handboard and a tech deck handboard, one of the older ones. And we were just using it at his pad. I fell in love with it. I was like, oh dude, this is sick. I ended up buying like a cheap one on eBay, and at the time I was doing schoolwork online in high school. I was just trying to finish, and while I was doing online work, I was handboarding on the desk the whole time. And I looked up fingerboards. Like I knew about the pro fingerboards during that time. This was like around 2010, 2011. But yeah, just the handboards were just too fun. And I still to this day, they ask anyone who does both handboarding and fingerboarding. Handboarding is way easier.
Damn, easier.
And
you
it's a lot
serious?
more fun, and it's easier once you get
Dude.
past like the awkward. Because like when you learn
Yeah.
anything, you got to get past that awkward feeling when you're first learning. Once you do, dude, so much easier.
Damn, we're gonna need a demo for the vlog after. God damn.
Yeah.
As far as for when you first started with handboards and stuff like that, was it always just like a tech deck handboard?
Yeah. The tech deck ones, they've always been, since they were discontinued, they've always been really expensive.
Yeah.
At the time there were some like cheap, I don't know if they're it was called Rude Boys handboards, and I think they came with some of the, like, kids clothing or whatever. I think it was like a kids clothing brand, but they also threw in handboards with those. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, they were selling them separately on eBay. I found just some source selling them separately on eBay, and I would buy those, but they wouldn't last long because trucks are plastic. So
what are your thoughts on the reissue handboards from Tech Deck that just came out recently? Good buy for $13?
Yeah. The shape is a little extreme, but yeah, it's decent.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like the weight of it with the heavy trucks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
When did you get introduced to like wooden handboards? And I point that way because you walked in with fucking beast of a handboard.
I know I had to just in case.
Yeah.
So after I kept breaking the cheap ones, there was eventually no more that I could buy on eBay. They were all sold out, and then so I stopped altogether. And then come 2017, I found out about like Sam Tabor and
he's another beast.
I think it was just Sam Tabor and a couple other like smaller people just posting on YouTube of handboards. And then that's when I decided to look up, if anyone's like still doing anything with handboarding, because I remember Redemption. I remember seeing a video of his a long time ago. He had some like sick prototypes, like wooden prototypes. And then so I decided to look up. He posted that like 2010 or somewhere around there, and then that's in 2017 I decided to look up if there was any update on that, and lo and behold, he was like full on making wooden handboards, and that's what got me back into that.
Damn. Okay, so handboarding came first, and then talk to me about the transition to fingerboarding. Was that kind of like a natural thing just because handboarding is so closely tied to it? Or when did your attention kind of shift, or how do we get to fingerboarding from handboarding?
So once I started like getting back into the handboarding, there was this dude named Reno who started his own handboard company called Genesis Handboards. I ended up getting sponsored by him and riding for him for a while. And while that was happening, I was getting bored from him. And then so I would have, again, some church homies come through and we would just like handboard. But the guy who pretty much got me into handboarding, Nigel, his brother PJ came through one day with a tech deck and a custom rail that he like welded himself.
Damn. For fingerboards or handboards?
For fingerboards.
Okay.
He had his tech deck fingerboard and his rail, and he was just fingerboarding on my table while the rest of us were handboarding.
Damn.
Yeah. And so he left that night. He left the rail there because I was like, oh, this is sick. He left it there. And then the next day I just decided to use it, and I was like, dude,
damn,
that's
wild.
Yeah, I was like, this is too good. And then
were hooked.
Yeah, after that, I got like my cheap wooden setup. I was like, I need to get a wooden one, see how this is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Transitioning now to talk more about fingerboarding. It's a question that I ask pretty much everyone on the pod. But do you think that if someone didn't grow up with skateboarding as a big part of their childhood, do you think they can fully love and appreciate fingerboarding for what it is?
I think, yeah. For sure, they can love and appreciate it, but I also feel like it's from two different angles, growing up skating, and then if you're not skating, it like, same love, but just coming at it from different angles for sure. Like,
hell yeah.
And you can kind of see it in people's fingerboarding. Like if they
totally
know or have skated, you can tell in their fingerboarding.
Yeah, with the trick selection.
Yeah.
I always think it's the trick selection that gives it away.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There you go. Tell me about your first wooden fingerboard, because obviously using plastic tech decks is fun. I feel like we all kind of start there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you first discover that like first wooden setup, it's always a game changer.
Yeah. So it was back, that when I got the rail from PJ, my homie. Yep. Yeah. That I was like talking to him. I was like, dude, I'm gonna get a wooden setup just to see how it is, because we were already on the wooden handboards. We went from tech deck to the wooden handboards.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get the wooden setup. I forgot. I don't even remember what site it was. I just like Googled wooden fingerboard like for cheap or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like a bamboo ply fingerboard, and it was just like the typical like mass produced ones in China or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I got the 32 millimeter tech deck trucks and the cheap CNC bearing wheels, and yeah, that was it. And,
Went at it.
Yeah, and the foam tape. The foam tape was what changed it all for me.
Foam
dude.
tape's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that was it.
Yeah, foam tape's crazy. You know what's funny is I got my first wooden deck from eBay, and it didn't come pre-cut. It was like the square.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I legitimately could not, for the life of me, figure out how you were supposed to put the damn grip tape on the board. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And the instructions came with it. Never looked at them. Just idiot. After it wasn't until the second time I bought a board because I smashed the first one that I undid the instructions and they showed a file.
Oh,
so
okay,
I was
okay.
legit, bro. I put the damn board on the grip, traced it with a pencil, and tried cutting that. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think thankfully I already knew how to do that because of the handboards. And we had the foam grip and all that. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who were some of your favorite fingerboard companies when you first started out? Like who were some of the top brands and who are some of your favorite brands? Just to give everyone like some context as to the time frame in fingerboarding that we're talking about.
Starting out, of course, my first like pro setup, it was a Collier.
Dude, shout out Collier.
34 millimeter Collier. Loved those boards, still do. And then from that point, it was 1904 fingerboards, the homie Igor.
Damn.
Yeah, so I was riding those for a bit, and then moving forward, I tried a bunch of different ones, and then moving forward would like really change things for me as far as like what I actually prefer, like all around. It was Upward One. I don't know if you heard.
I've heard. Okay. I haven't tried.
Okay,
I think I know that they're expensive.
No, yeah,
yeah.
So at the end of 2019, I got Lily bought me one for Christmas, and it came the next month, and I was just like, oh man, this is like the creme de la creme for me. Like,
yeah,
because everyone has their preferences, of course. Like quality. A lot of people make good quality, but yeah, just like dimensions and all that. That was like the end game for me. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Talk to me about style, right? Like when you talk about, as a fingerboarder, when you talk about style on a fingerboard, for someone that's listening that may not understand like the term or how it's used when it applied to fingerboarding, what does style mean to you on a fingerboard? We could just roll one of your kick flips.
That's nah.
Kick flips are crazy.
Dude. Everything that I do and I've learned, I give credit to, like Upward One, Butterfingers. It's because of them that I do things the way I do now. I'm call it biting, call it whatever you want. That's just I enjoy so much how it looks like that. I wanted to do the same thing, or try to at least. I'm still far off from how they can do things, honestly, but it's because of them that that I try and do things like that. And
I like that.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just like it's not just like a normal kick flip, like where I try to keep my fingers close to the board as much as I can, just trying to make it look realistic. So everyone has different styles. Like, some people go crazy with it or whatever, and they don't pay attention to certain things or don't care about, they might not care about certain things that others do. So I don't know. It's just all preference to me, honestly.
Hell yeah. On the pod, we appreciate a humble king, but you're being a little hard on yourself.
Nah.
Because you got the skills. The boards are fire, right? The skills are fire.
Oh man.
You gotta live in the moment a little bit.
I try. That's all. I try my best.
When I said you were gonna be on the pod and I asked questions for the internet, people fucked with it. They were just like, bro, everyone wanted to know why you're so mysterious.
Oh, what the?
Everyone was like, what's up with the name and what's up with the drops and why is he so mysterious? Everyone. It was like those are the three main things.
It's never intentional. I'm just freaking busy, dude. It's just
I like that there's people out there that are waiting for this pod that are like, you're gonna have some epic answer and you're just like, I'm fucking busy. I'm just a parent guy. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, we homeschool. It's not as bad as it seems, but yeah, homeschool in the morning, work at night, and then I tried to work on boards while the kids are doing their work, but dude, as the moment I freaking look away, they're off task or skipping assignments. Like it's tough. So
damn.
Yeah, that's it. It's like, and then on my free time, I just want to kick it with the lady or the kids.
Yeah.
Like that's it, dude.
I can appreciate that. I've been married a long time. It sounds like you've been with your woman a long time too. So
Yeah.
right there with you. I
You already know.
There it is. Daddy Etchie? Is that what we should call you for the rest of the pod? Daddy, goddamn, Big Daddy Etchie. All right. Pause on the Big Daddy Etchie. Talk to me about your local fingerboard scene when you started, right? Because I know you talked about your homies and stuff like that, but were there other people, like were there events going on, or like what was the tone of the local fingerboard like scene as far as events?
Very small. Still, we were trying to get it growing, but you know, some of the homies got distracted with other hobbies. As same goes for me. So I know Igor was mainly like trying to put together just like small events at this one location called Bluefoot, right? Bluefoot.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So we would meet there like Thursday nights, and there was like a good amount of us, honestly, and a lot of them just, you know, I haven't seen them in years because they all started doing their own thing. And yeah, it was always small. From when I started in 2019, it was always small. I don't know how it was before because that's still pretty recent overall. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was any bigger before, but it's always been small, and it's only gone down as far as the local scene.
As far as local,
to my knowledge, because again, I'm slightly like not in it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that, not to jump too far ahead, but is that like intentional? Like you don't want to be necessarily a part of?
No, not at all. It's just aside from being busy, again, distracted with other hobbies like
family,
mechanical
life.
Keyboard, now Pokemon.
Bro, we gotta talk about the damn mechanical keyboards.
Oh, I know.
Yo, low key, I was on the YouTube and I'm like, I clicked on the vlog and I'm like, hell yeah, we're about to watch a fingerboard vlog, and I was just like, all the time, and I'm like, bro, an hour-long pod about keyboards? Like, god damn. I like that.
Oh man.
Okay,
I can't believe you saw that. I didn't know you saw that.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I had to do some digging. I didn't realize. Not a lot of people realize that you vlogged and stuff. So I had a homie hit me up and he was like, "Yo, make sure you ask him like, what's up with all the vlog footage that he said he filmed and was gonna edit and put out, then he never did." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he sent me a link to one of your videos, and I was like, "Bro, he's a vlogger."
As far as from what I remember, I had footage and then I turned everything into like a highlight video just because that was. The transition.
You must have took all the videos down or like privated them.
Yeah, I did.
Because all you have is unboxings.
I kept cringing of at all my vlogs. I'm like, dude, this is terrible, dude.
Man, you got to kill the part of you that cringes at the part that you think is cringy.
What's up, guys?
I know. Right? What's up,
my
guys?
god!
Sorry.
That's
my shit, big dog.
I'm sorry.
Come on. Calling myself Facebook.Christopher on a damn podcast. Sometimes you got to embrace it. I was once called the Blippy of fingerboarding. You know what I mean? And you just gotta go with it. There you go.
P-P-I.
Jake was once called the Ellen DeGeneres of fingerboarding. The pause was diabolical. My bad. All right, back on track. I think it's safe to say that the core heart of skateboarding, and even fingerboarding, a lot of the time is DIY, right?
Yeah.
With that being said, was there a specific moment that you can recall when you thought to yourself, like, I want to do something of my own, like I want to have a company, I want to have my own board? Like, what was that moment like for you when you kind of decided that you wanted to do your own thing?
I was tired of bothering other people for things that I wanted or was uncomfortable because, of course, during that time I was so into the whole Etchie thing. Like, I don't want to ask people like, oh, can you put a freaking naked anime girl on the board for me, please? Like,
that would be wild.
Yeah.
That would be a wild request.
I mean, and then I was writing for Igor in 1904, and we were like, one night we were just doing graphics and all that, and yeah, I kept switching stuff up, and I just felt bad asking constantly, like, hey, can we do this? Can we change this up? So yeah, I was like, and then it was because of the pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, that's when I was like, you know what? I'm tired of bothering anyone. I'm just gonna do it on my own.
Do it. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
When you first started out, did you have a specific vision for Etchie, like how you wanted it to look and feel as a brand? Like, how did you come up with the initial designs? Was it just kind of like your interest in naked anime?
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah. So it was that, obviously. Like it started in handboarding when I was writing for Genesis. Excuse me. I had like a whole sticker collection, and I would just slap them, the anime girls, on my boards to like kind of act as graphics because, again, Reno, he didn't. I think I tried asking him and he just wasn't comfortable with it, understandably. So, I just kept slapping stickers on all my blank handboards, and then of course once I started making fingerboards, automatically I was like, all right, I'm gonna just grab whatever I find on the interwebs and just slap it on the board and make it look cool. Very unoriginal, very uncreative. is that the word? Uncreative?
Uncreative.
Non-creative.
We'll make it a word. We'll just roll with it.
Yeah, and then so it was all very like unofficial, just like because that like a lot of other people, I wasn't super serious about it. I was just trying to have fun with it. Like it was never supposed to be a serious thing, and still really isn't. I take the craft seriously, but as far as like the branding, like it was always just for fun. Like
there's that humble king again. Not taking credit for your fucking cool ass shit.
Dude.
All right, it's cool if you don't want to take credit. Over the past couple months, so here's kind of a curveball, right?
Yeah.
Over the past couple months, there's been a growing conversation within the fingerboard community when it comes to graphic that are like deemed maybe like inappropriate for kids.
Yeah.
Right? Like not just like graphics, but content, edits and stuff like that. There's people that feel like, hey, this is a community for kids.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that? When it comes to Etchie having kind of edgy graphics.
Yeah. No, I totally understand where those people who have that sort of opinion are coming from. My whole thing is, dude, I'm like a walking hypocrite, dude. Like I'm a walking definition of a hypocrite. Sorry,
who brings Jumbo Jacks to the pod? Okay, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just it feels weird because like I'm like defending this when I don't know. It just doesn't feel right defending it, but it's just what I'm into. Like, it's weird. It's just because there's a lot of kids involved doesn't mean everything made in the hobby has to be for kids. I feel like there can be things specifically made for adults, and that's what I tried to do. I had my profile on private for the longest time, and then everyone was like getting salty at me about it. So I forgot something happened, or there was like something that clicked. And I was like, you know what, I'll just make it public. And so it was always private because it wasn't supposed to be for the kids. I would only approve like people who are obviously of age.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's just because a lot of kids are into it. I don't feel that everything needs to cater to the kids.
Right.
And on top of that, I know it's kind of weird, but it's another reason why I have like just the logo graphics. Like in case there are kids who want to appreciate just the board itself, they can just choose one of those graphics.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
I still don't even know how I feel about what I just said, honestly.
Hey,
but that's what
enough.
I've always thought about whenever the topic was brought up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Question though. So they kind of makes me think because now you do, and we're gonna talk about this later, but now instead of doing like full on drops, you do like custom boards, right? Where like you have one slot open, two slots open.
Yeah.
So do you age check those people?
Most of them, if they ask me for like a not safe for work graphic, most of the time I'll like just see who it is. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's still weird. I don't know, but and it's not. It's not like fully custom where it's like you get anything you want. It's like I have these choices to choose. You just choose from what I have available.
Hell yeah.
So that's as far as like the custom
graphics, custom boards.
I don't know what the word is. Sorry.
No worries.
Sorry.
Moving on.
I don't know words.
That's all right. I know we talked about the name, right? Obviously, we got the name, we got the spelling, we got the lore behind it. Were there any other names that you were considering before landing on Etchie?
Customizability. Sorry, that was the word.
I was like, God damn, you went from custom. Yeah, custom.
I just thought
liability
of it.
to Etchie. Like, okay.
I just thought of it as you were asking that, but no, not really, honestly, because it's just because I had that folder. So, and then I know like some people like to like claim it as like hentai or whatever, and not that everyone cares, but there is a difference between Etchie and hentai because hentai probably would have been the other choice. But I mean, again, I'm sure most people don't even care about that, but I just have to throw that out there. That's probably the only other name that I would have given it, but there's a difference there, and there's a reason why I went with Etchie instead of hentai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. How did you start actually making fingerboard decks? Was this something that you learned on your own? Did you have a mentor or guide? Because I mean, now it's like you can just Google it, right?
Yeah.
And you can YouTube it.
Yeah.
Even when you started, like 2020, 2019, like at the time, there's still videos and stuff, but how did you really hone in? Because the boards are solid. I mean, I think it speaks to the fact that you have such a big, like, loyal following that the boards are solid. It's not just that you have cool graphics and stuff. The boards are legitimately, like, spot on. You know what I mean?
That was
so.
I'm glad. Thank you for that, because that was definitely my goal. Like, I already knew going into it, not everyone was gonna like the etchy graphics or like hate it. So I was like, well, I at least can back it up with the
Proper
the
boards.
craftsmanship.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Dude, what was the question?
I love it.
I'm
I love it.
sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry, dude.
No problem.
I'm sorry. What was the
Talk to me about making boards though. How do you
Oh
learn how to make boards?
yeah. That's right. I specifically remember watching Ben Doan. Subliminal. Yeah, that's right.
Shout
Sorry,
out
my
Ben.
bad, dude.
I keep telling Ben, I saw him this weekend. I'm like, bro, we gotta get you on the pod.
Yeah, I specifically remember like going back to his video the most as far as like a guide. But other than that, I think, because it's always rough at first. The homie Butterfingers. I don't know if you know Butterfingers.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Well, yeah, he's one of the dudes who like I have the style I have now because he's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
He's also helped me with the craftsmanship. I would send him boards in the very beginning. I would just send him boards for free. Like, hey, tell me what you think or what needs improving. And then, it was because of him that I was able to speed up the process of, mastering the craft, even though I still feel like there's some improvements to be made. But yeah, like that, I was like on the fast track to like, hopefully high quality because of him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw a video on your Instagram where you were making a board, right? And it seemed like everything was in your house. Like you slid the router out from under a table.
Yeah.
And like that to me is like, it's wild to think that you have like that much passion for making fingerboards where it's like everything's just kind of in your home. You're pulling it out of like under tables and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're getting these results out of, tools in your home. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I try to set myself up as best as I can for the space that I have because I'm in an apartment. And I know some people know how it is.
Yeah, hell yeah. With kids and
with kids, like, I actually used to have like a designated corner of the living room for that stuff, but then we ended up having to move stuff around, got a whole desk set up and everything that's now in that corner. So everything had to go under the table. My router table is under there. My drill press is under there. That's another reason why
sliding the drill press out in the video is crazy,
bro. That's why it's so like difficult to even like get myself to work on the boards consistently because, dude, every time got to slide everything out and got to carry the drill press up on top of the counters. Yeah, it's just a lot of work overall. But yeah.
One of the people that hopped in the questions for you on the internet, they said that when they started making boards, they watched a couple of your videos where you kind of talked about it and they learned some stuff from there.
Mm-hmm.
One person said that they'll never sand a board at night because you told them that it wouldn't come out as consistent.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't see the attention to detail. So they'll never sand a board at night because you put that in your video. Do you still not sand boards at night?
Yeah, no. I need the sun. I need natural light. I need sunlight. There are just certain things, like certain angles that can't be seen. Well, at least from my eyes. I don't know. Maybe I just suck compared to. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
Maybe I just suck compared to other people, but I like having the natural light because I could see the board, with the sun directly on it while I could, I'm still getting some light on the other side of it. So I can see, if there's like a sharp edge that I missed or something.
Yeah.
I can't really see that with like a lamp or anything, but again, it might just be me. It might just be my lighting. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I strictly sand in the sunlight.
There you go.
Yeah.
Once your first couple boards that you made were in hand, what was the next step? Like, how did you get your boards into the hands of people? Was it like showing up to events and being a part of the community and just hooking homies up with boards? Or was it more of like an online, Instagram kind of?
For the longest time, it was all strictly for homies and it was all for free. Like for like the first May, June, July, August, September, October. For the first 6 months, it was all the boards I made were all free and I would just send them out to homies and yeah, that was pretty much how they got out. And then, if they needed to sell it, they needed to sell it. Yeah, that's how they just ended up getting out, honestly. And then November of 2020 is when I actually did my first drop.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that you mentioned like the whole, like they have to sell it. I wanted to bring up, not to jump too far ahead.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask you about like the resale market of your boards because, fingerboards cost anywhere from like $40 to $50, or in some cases like a custom $60 to $100. Some of your boards on eBay are posted for a couple hundred.
Yeah.
People like put crazy value because they're so rare and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How did do you have an opinion on that? Does that bother you at all? Are you cool with it, or what's your opinion on like the secondary resale market?
I have very mixed feelings, honestly. Like, I feel, like, I understand why people would want to sell it for a high price, but I'm also like, I know exactly how it is trying to get something, and the only way to get it is paying a lot and hating it. So, yeah, I just have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I do discourage people from freaking paying like crazy amounts because I've seen them go for
a couple
like,
hundred.
Yeah, and
crazy.
it's like, dude. Like,
some of the sold amounts on eBay are nuts.
And most of them are just dudes who, I unfortunately made them boards and they didn't have good intentions. So yeah. I regret those also. But yeah, if I wouldn't pay more than, if you're really desperate for something, you shouldn't pay too much. I understand paying over, but not too much, dude. There should still be a limit. And for those selling, I understand. I get it, but yeah, it's just you gotta meet in the middle somewhere with that sort of thing.
I respect it.
Yeah.
It seems like most fingerboard brands now aim to promote their brand and build hype and to grow their presence, right? Because a lot of these guys are like making a living off these brands and off their boards and stuff like that. But with Etchie, it definitely feels, and I know you kind of touched on this earlier, but it definitely feels a little bit like you're not chasing that. Like, it feels like you're not chasing, like, you necessarily don't want the brand to like blow up and be super big.
Yeah.
And is there a reason for that? Like, is this not like you know what I mean? Like, what in a world where most brands do that, right? Where they really want to hype themselves up and drop boards and sell 200 boards and be like the biggest brand. Like, why is that not a thing for you? I respect it.
Yeah.
It's just why is that not a thing for you?
I'm for sure the type to be, once it becomes a job, it's no longer enjoyable. I can't do it with anything that I enjoy. If once it becomes like an everyday thing for money, it no longer becomes enjoyable. Even to this day, like right now, it's still, because I'll take in commissions and then it's still kind of troublesome. But I'm trying to get these boards out to people who've been waiting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm mainly in it for that because, people still want it and I still want to be able to do that for them, especially at, the price that I'm charging versus someone selling it elsewhere for a lot more. Also, the other main reason why I'm even still in this is because it does help put some extra food on the table for the kids. So if you've supported me with boards, dude, I appreciate it. It goes straight to my kids. So, if you bought a board from me, it goes straight to them.
We need the resale prices to go to you. You guys are asking for commission.
I used to charge when I first started. It was like 30 for a character graphic, 25 for a logo.
That's a fucking bargain.
And then, obviously with the whole like reselling, and then me getting some advice from, people who've been in the game, like Wood. Yeah. I've been lucky enough to become good friends with Zach, and
we need Zach on the pod.
I know.
I've been trying to get him on the pod, but he
yeah,
doesn't respond to any fucking DMs.
Yeah,
Zach, what the fuck?
Yeah. So I remember he approached me and he was like, I don't know if he was really upset or kind of upset at like me underselling, I guess, and yeah, I hope he doesn't mind that I say this. He wasn't telling me like, oh, bro, you need a friend. Like, he's not like that at all. Yeah. Like, he knows like what's up.
I was about to say, yeah. If anyone knows, he knows.
Yeah, dude. Craftsmanship, like in my opinion, like I know there are still boards for me to try, but my opinion, like he's untouchable. No one could touch his craftsmanship at all.
Are crazy.
Yeah. So he just expressed how he was upset at the prices I was charging for what I was putting out. Yeah. So, and then on top of that with the whole resale thing. So I was like, all right, I'll just, see if people are still down to support if I raise my prices a little. Thankfully, especially to my main supporters, they were like all for it. And especially because they, it'll still allow them to buy it without paying hundreds of dollars for at least one board.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like doing the commission drops versus actual like bigger drops, do you feel like that kind of feeds into the resale portion of it? Like if you did a drop and you did 30 boards, 40 boards, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like that would cut down on people reselling the boards for like crazy amounts?
It all just goes back to like me being able to put a little extra food on the table for the kids. If I were to make a batch of 30 or 40, it'll be like months from now before I can even do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas the commission slots, and that's why I cap it at 5 slots. That way no one is waiting too long. I try to make sure no one is waiting longer than a month.
Right.
Yeah, so as soon as they pay me and I tell them like, hey, 4 weeks is the max. Hopefully, things can happen with the weather or whatever, but that's why I cap it out at 5 slots. That way no one is waiting too long. And it's primarily so like, hey, if I got a slot open and then as soon as they pay me, this is just extra food on the table. Boom.
Hell yeah.
For the kids. Again, that's all. That's straight up. Yeah.
Dude, Jake and I were talking about that today. I'm like, dude, kids are expensive.
Yeah, dude.
Money comes in
dude.
and
yeah, exactly.
Need this, need that. Talk to me about having, because I think we talked in the DMs, you're telling me you have just one mold, right?
Yep.
Is that kind of playing into that where it's just one and done, real quick and easy? This way you're not sitting on stock or what?
No. It's just I just didn't want. I just wanted the perfect mold and shape, so I wouldn't have to like bounce back and forth with anything.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty much it.
As far as for I've noticed that as far as for a lot of people when it comes to making boards and stuff like that, they transition into offering tape and sometimes like wheels or trucks or stuff like that. Do you feel like that's ever a part of the plan venture? Because I've seen like you wear some like Etchie stuff in your videos, like hoodies and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that we'll ever get to a point where we're getting more Etchie merch?
Merch was supposed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No, go ahead.
Shit. Merch was supposed to be a thing. Unfortunately, something didn't work out with the merch. And then I just got completely discouraged after that, honestly. It was a whole long process of like waiting, trying to get the merch and just things not working out. It was just bad timing. And then so once everything was like done, like, all right, I, got my money back from the whole thing. I was just like, I don't even want to deal with that anymore. But yeah, I did want to make at least shirts. Cause I did get a hoodie from a homie. The homie knew, Houston FB. I don't know if that still is Instagram. I'm sorry. I don't. It's hard to keep up with everyone's Instagram account. Yeah. But yeah, I got that hoodie from him. That's why I do rock that one. But yeah, when I did try to get shirts made, it just didn't work out. And as far as like the pieces of the parts, the fingerboard parts, I never considered honestly selling those either. So it was just for the board and other things Etchie related, not parts for fingerboards though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
If we're talking one fingerboard at a time, what's the timeline on one fingerboard for you? Like from start to finish? Given your busy schedule as a pops.
Yeah. So the reason why it takes me so long is because I like to separate the steps. So if I'm pressing boards, I'll press, through like, I know I can probably get away with 2 in a day, but I try to keep it 1 a day. I'll press 1 board each day. And then I'll, once I get a decent pile, I'll drill, countersink, and cut. And that's it. Because it takes me long enough to do that. I know people can get through that quickly, but for some reason, I can't seem to do it fast enough. Mm-hmm. So I do that. And then after that is when that stack will be sitting for a while because I'll sand 1 board a day at most if I have work.
Yeah. Sometimes
I could do 2 boards a day, like hand sanding.
Yeah.
And then at night after work, I will lacquer and do the graphics. So it's a mixture of things, but yeah, it takes me long because I separate those steps. I can never finish a board from start to finish. Okay. Like in one session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Transitioning now to talk more about, I guess like the parts that like build up a brand aside from the boards and stuff like that. But I noticed that there's not really anything online in regards to an Etchie team, right? A lot of brands have teams. Obviously, team writers promote your brand. Promoting the brand pushes the brand. More people, more eyes on your brand. Why don't you have a team? Did you feel like, did it hurt you at all to not have a team?
No.
Is that something we can expect? Or
I did. I never like explained this officially because it's just it kind of like died out naturally. But I did have a team. Okay. It did start. Like I started gathering people in the beginning, since the beginning when I made things like official, like after my first drop. Well, I had one guy writing for me, Ryan Snyder. He was like my first writer, and then he was there in the beginning before like I made things super official. Then after that, I just started like gathering more people. But it just the timing was so weird because it was like, and this didn't apply to all of them, but most of them it did. As soon as I put them on, just stuff happened in life where like instantly they became inactive or like they couldn't post. And not that I care. I told them I didn't care about that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we're all adults. Like, do what you got to do. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Just, post whenever you can and rep when you can. But years passed and like most of us, even including myself, were just super inactive. So I was like, for a few months, I was like, should I just, not have a team then? Because it's like I'm doing my own thing. Everyone's doing their own thing. So yeah, like kind of recently, I like texted or messaged the group chat. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna retire the team altogether because we're just all too busy. So it felt pointless basically.
Yeah.
No, like nothing against them. Like I'm doing it. Like I told them, like I'm pretty much just in this, for my kids now at this point. Like, I'm busy doing other stuff. So I was I'll just let it be, move on.
Hell yeah. There you go. Talking about a team, would you? And this is kind of a random question, but would you ever consider yourself, or would you ever consider making yourself pro for Etchie?
I don't know, dude.
It's a hot topic. Some brands respectfully Collier.
Yeah.
Christian's pro for Collier.
I don't see it. No, okay.
But a lot of brands wouldn't do that.
I don't see anything wrong with it. But for some reason, no, I think I'm fine. Yeah, I think I'm fine with it, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you turn yourself pro for Etchie?
I probably wouldn't make it a big deal.
I like that. Big deal.
Don't stop. Sorry. Me and my homies always crack up when we crack voices. Sorry. I wouldn't make it a big deal. I wouldn't make an announcement or nothing. I would just make my graphic and that'll be that. I'll make it an option for people to choose from if it ever came down to that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed on social media, you're pretty low key. You only have a couple posts on Instagram.
Yeah.
Is that like a lot of just post and delete, or do you just really not post stuff?
Post and archive, and now these days I just don't post.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a lot of stuff, and then I'm always like wishy-washy. Like, should this be on my feed? Should this be on my feed?
Is it like an aesthetic thing? Like you just want it to look very clean and aesthetic, or like what is it that kind of makes you feel like
partially
like you just want to take it down?
Yeah, partially, and then there are some where I'm just like, again, I'm super critical with like past content and like the edits, like the past edits. I'm like, oh, dude, that's disgusting, and I'll archive it.
You're disgusted by your edits?
Yeah. So even the ones that are up, some of them I'm
Hell
like,
no.
Dude,
I spent 2 hours last night watching every video I've ever posted. They're great.
Dude, I appreciate that, but no, it takes me so long to even get tricks. I'm super inconsistent. So like I use slow-mo as a filler to not make the video seem so short. Then I cringe at that.
Fuck, I didn't notice that. It was like the slow-mo roll.
Yeah, dude.
Trick.
Yeah.
Slow-mo. Land slow-mo. Okay.
Yeah.
It works.
I mean,
I didn't realize you were covering up for anything.
Yeah, dude. I can't get tricks, man. It's hard. Once I turn that camera on, it's
Oh, that's everybody.
Yeah, so
again, Jake and I had the same conversation. We were like, bro, we suck. We're trying to film for the Collier stuff, and it's like the moment you turn on the camera, you just ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it makes it worse that I'm always using my phone is like always an obsolete version of like an iPhone.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a broke boy. So I got Boost Mobile. And just any phone I get, it's instantly, storage is full.
Yeah. Boost Mobile, that's crazy.
Yeah.
One of those?
The chirp. It's an iPhone now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not chirping anymore?
Not chirping.
All right. Over the years, we've seen some pretty cool, like edgy collabs.
Yeah.
As far as like with other companies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Are we going to get any more expected this year? Maybe like an Etchie collab obstacle?
I would.
Or what are you thinking?
I got nothing planned. I have names. I have. Dude, don't laugh at me when I mess up. All right. It's my first time. All right. I have like these. How can I put this? It's just agreements, like someone will approach me, or I'll approach someone, and we'll be like, yeah, let's do a collab in the future, and like it just never progresses from there, just because we're always busy. I'm always busy, at least. So it's as much as I'd like to get stuff done, it's just I'm like too busy with life and commissions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. As a brand owner, do you get a lot of the DMs of people like begging for a sponsorship?
No.
No. Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
That's news to me. A lot of people get those fucking, please give me a free board. My dog ate my board.
Yeah, no.
Sponsor
I mean,
me.
I might have had a few in the past, but yeah, no one.
You just don't even open the messages.
No.
I was about to say, you seem like the homie that just lives everywhere.
No.
All in the hidden box.
No.
Okay.
I check. I try to keep up with everything, but
Okay.
I don't purposely ignore. And yeah, I don't get those messages.
I feel that. I don't know what you're showing me, Jake. I have no idea what you're showing me.
What is it? Oh my gosh.
There you go. You got the first one. Bro, do me a favor right now on the pod. Just reply, fuck that.
All right.
Looking ahead, where do you see Etchie going from here? Is there something you kind of envision for the next couple years? Obviously, with doing it to obviously for the passion of fingerboarding, but obviously to promote your kids. Did he do it? Yeah, hell yeah. But obviously, like promoting your kids and stuff, or supporting your kids and stuff with the brand. Do you see it continuing long term, or like what's the plan? What's the like long term plan for Etchie?
That's tough, dude. Honestly, I've had this conversation with a couple other people, but I told them that there have been times recently where I was like considering just dropping it and closing down altogether, just because it's like just too busy with everything else. Yeah, I don't know what it's looking like in the long run. I hope I can continue, and I know I'm slacking on putting out new stuff, new graphics actually, but again, I'm not creative. I don't know how to draw or nothing, so I have to rely on hiring artists to make the graphics for me.
Hell yeah.
And
I was about to say the one you just gave me.
oh well, yeah, but yeah, I know.
What is this?
That's
Who
the
made this?
That's the wifey logo from the wifey.
Dude,
but
fire.
yeah, I know. And
fire.
hey, I said she's supposed to be making me a V2, and she hasn't finalized it yet.
Damn.
And this was months ago.
That's crazy.
So I can't even rely on her.
Bro, I love it when the wives are like involved.
Yeah.
'Cause my wife is so involved in like the podcast and my short form stuff. So there's times where like it'll be Thursday before the Friday I'm supposed to post. I'm like, bro, I need the intro outro for the pod.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See?
I love it. Love it when the
She
when
has
the
the
baby
rough.
moms.
She has the rough draft, but she don't want to finalize it. So
Damn. He's a social media manager.
no.
That's what I was telling my wife. You're like, no.
No.
There you go. Hey, okay. Just winding down here, right?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I didn't realize you had a YouTube channel till last night.
Good.
God damn. One of the homies messaged me and was like, you have to ask him like why he stopped vlogging. Like it was so sick that you tied in like your passion and love for cars and shit like
Yeah.
that and fingerboarding. Like,
Yeah.
why did he stop? And I was just like, I don't think you're talking about the same dude. Like, so I hit up other people and other people were like, nah, he doesn't vlog. And I'm like, who the fuck? Like, so I hit the homie back. I'm like, nah, you're talking about the wrong guy. He's
Yeah.
like, bro, sent me the link to your. I'm like, what the? Talk to me about why we stopped the vlogs. Why did we stop all that social media stuff?
Schedule change. So, things were a lot easier before both of my kids were in school. My youngest kids.
Okay.
Before they were in school, or at least physically going to school, because I think my son was already in school, but he was strictly doing online, and it was way easier because we didn't have to be so involved because like he had an actual teacher and everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, they would still do all the work online and everything. But after that, both kids started going to school, and then my schedule at work changed from I used to work at 6 in the morning, and then I'd come home and I would still have plenty of energy to vlog, and then they switched it to 4 a.m.
Damn.
So once I started working at 4 a.m., I'd come home and I'm just like dead tired. And then now I'm doing closing shifts because we homeschool both the kids and we both have to be like fully involved.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's just not even an option for me anymore.
There you go. Well, you could always do like a daddy Etchie vlog. He just blog with the kids. You know what I mean?
Dude, ain't nobody wanted to see that.
Poppy Etchie.
Man.
Apparently, people do. People were in the like. I almost got no questions. Everyone just wanted to know about the damn name, and everyone wanted to know why you weren't vlogging anymore.
Yeah, see?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, fell off, dude. Hard.
Nah, you're still with it. Okay, let's do this. Let's shift to so we talked about obviously skateboarding, fingerboarding, talked about the brand. I want to talk about you as a fingerboarder now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any current sponsors?
None that I know of. No, because I was writing for Igor, but we never like made it official. Like, all right, I'm no longer writing for 1904.
Okay,
I still got pro models.
I was about to say, so
I
you
still got pro models with him.
You never left.
Yeah, I never officially left.
Okay,
and,
so you're
but
pro.
it's all up to him still. So I'm not the one that decides to stay. If
Igor, DM us. Let us know. Is he still pro? Let us know in the comments below, Igor.
Yeah.
Dream sponsors: deck, wheels, trucks. Go.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Wub for deck.
Damn, slide in the DMs.
Wait, what was the
Trucks?
Black River.
Damn, the OGs. I
Yeah. Wheels. Oh man. Lab.
Damn.
Yeah.
Proper. Talk to me about your dream car.
The one I have now, but a JDM one from Japan. 91 Civic sedan.
Damn. Is that the one you did the graphic of?
Yeah. That's my car, not my actual car, but
Yeah.
I want one that's actually from Japan.
Damn.
Yeah.
There you go. A little Tokyo Drift.
No.
Fast and the Furious.
I love those movies.
I was like, no.
Love that. I can't drift in my car is what I'm saying.
No, I wasn't talking
Yeah,
about drift. I'm saying
yeah.
the movie, the reference to cars. All right.
Sorry.
Moving on. That's all right. I love that movie. Let's see. Favorite Pokemon?
Ooh, I don't know if it's a little cliche, but I've really come to like Mew.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I was not expecting that.
I used to like Mewtwo a lot, but then I was like, man, this fool's a freaking science experiment though. I want like an actual Pokemon. Yeah, so, exactly.
It's kind of weird.
So, Mew.
What, just by looking at me, who's my favorite Pokemon?
Man, I wish we talked about this earlier, but we didn't.
Go ahead.
I remember one of your kids, I forgot who it was, said Snorlax.
He said I look like Snorlax. All right. I said my favorite, not who the fuck I look like. All right, it's Charmander. All right, just around the same page.
That's my favorite starter.
There you go.
That's my favorite starter.
It's a little cliche, but
no, that's my favorite starter.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Go-to flat ground trick.
Crap. Nollie flip.
Damn, that's a good one. Favorite Taylor Swift song?
You Belong With Me only because it was covered by Sleeping with Sirens.
That's my fucking favorite Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
We're right here. We're connected right now. We're connected. Bro, that's crazy. Can you sing a little bit for the pod? Or?
Oh, man. I don't got a voice.
I'm just fucking with you. We'll have Jake sing it later. What is the best part about fatherhood so far?
It's just knowing that, you know, your kids look to you for just whatever it is. They rely on you, and knowing that I get to be the one that provides for them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Who are your biggest supporters in life? Not just when it comes to Etchie, but just like who do you wake up for? Who drives you? You know what I mean? Not physically drives you, but just, you know, what do you wake up for every day?
My woman, my kids.
The people that are audio only are like, why is he pausing?
Yeah, no.
Pointing to the wife.
Yeah, pointing to the wife, sorry. Yeah, my kids, just my family, obviously. And then, you know, my dad's always been really, I love my mom. Don't get me wrong. I love her. Shout
out moms.
Yeah, shout out moms. But my dad's always been the, like, no matter what I'm doing, just as long as I do my best and always supportive, like, even if I'm not doing so great, he's still like, I'm proud of you. So,
I love that.
Things like that.
I'm going to give you 2 words and you just give me back one. No context.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
Skateboarding, fingerboarding.
Skateboarding.
Original 151 or new gen?
151.
Switch flip, nollie flip.
Nollie flip.
Urethane wheels, plastic wheels.
Urethane.
Drake or Kendrick?
Kendrick.
Taco Bell or Del Taco?
Taco Bell.
Black River Dynamic.
Black River.
Who's more likely to have a secret folder in their phone of anime porn, me, Christian, or Jake?
Jake.
Hey, you're not wrong. Yo, and on that note, this has been the Big Spin Podcast. Josh, thanks so much for doing this with me.
Dude,
The
thanks for
Etchie
having
pod.
me.
Hell yeah.
I didn't think this would actually happen, dude. Honestly,
Dude.
I was like, I could see myself, I could see it happening, but I didn't think it would actually happen.
Dude, hell yeah. This was such a good pod. I remember when I messaged you and you said that. You were just like, bro, I didn't. And I told these guys too.
Yeah.
Dude, and honestly, I this is one of our first times meeting.
Yeah.
I just want to say how much I appreciate that you're such a humble dude, down to earth. I love the fact that you're just like family oriented.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, just keep killing it. I appreciate you being on the pod.
Hey,
where can
thank
people
you.
find you online? Even though you're not going to check your DMs, where can they find you?
No. You could DM me. Etchie 3cch1fb on Instagram. YouTube probably, but I don't really go like that. No one really talks on there.
Can you at least go back in the archives and eventually post one more vlog?
I'll just so I don't even need to go back in the archives. I'll probably just start like filming a new one.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
How many booster packs you trading of deck for?
Oh, I thought about doing that, but
You thought about trading boards for Pokemon
dude,
cards?
I was like, I would look like an idiot if I was like,
Nah,
hey, if
hell, they're expensive.
if anyone's got Pokemon booster packs, let me know. I'll make you. But I don't know, dude.
Yeah, that does.
I would get clowned, dude. So
Yeah,
I just
maybe
threw
not.
that idea out the window.
Josh, Big Spin Podcast. Thanks so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Big Spin Podcast.